Men of Reddit. What is something women hate about their bodies that you actually love? After reading this thread, men want stomach chub, thick thighs, small breasts, broad shoulders, bigot, and imperfect teeth. Danny DeVito. The perfect woman is Danny DeVito. Notice how there is immense variety in these answers. The soft meaty part around the hip bones that kinda spreads out when they sit down or kneel, it's so attractive. This thread makes me not hate myself. Thanks guys. When I was in college, 2 different girls reacted badly when I tried to compliment them on how pretty their freckles were. They both told me they hated them. I'll never understand it. If you have freckles, you've won the pretty face lottery emo. Laugh lines around the eyes, sometimes called crow's feet, sexy AF on older women. Probably a lot of stuff, but something in particular is like minor imperfections, or whatever you would call them. A woman I used to work with had a thing where it was like her teeth didn't quite line up like normal. I think maybe a mild crossbite, and I found it weirdly attractive. The jiggling. All that movement going on, ID's enthralling. Thick thighs. I love thighs, and if I ain't suffocating between my wife's thighs, am I even going down on her? Their natural eyebrows. Literally everything. I tell my woman that all the time. She's 50. Has had 3 children. She's also lost a lot of weight in the last year. She complains about her excess skin on her stomach, but oh me, she's the most beautiful person I've ever met, and I tell her that daily. Deleted. My girlfriend always complains about her saddlebags, the area around the hips. It's one of the many things that attracted me to her. Been together going on 5 years, still turns me on every time. Edit. GF doesn't think that this can get to 500,000 upvotes. NGL didn't think it'd get this many in general, but we have a wager going if it does. I'm glad seeing all the love for small oobs here. There's hope for me. Edit. I woke up and wow, this blows up. Those kind words warm me. It's a good day to be on Reddit. Thanks fellow human. Stomach. I like girls with stomach. Tummy. Even. Belly. Perhaps. I am a direct descendant of the MANWHO carved the Venus of Willendorf. All OOBS are good, too. Small, big, medium. DONTCARE. Also, laughs. I know a lot of people who hate their laughs, but I think they're the most precious thing. Those little dimple things on a woman's hips. My wife is 5 feet 0 inches and 100 pounds. Small petite woman. Yet she's given me 3 children I love so very much. She's always so hard on herself that it pains me to see. My SS is too big. I need a job. I hate my chin. My nose is janky. When I try to tell her that's all bullshit, she waves it off. You're my husband, you're supposed to say that. You look at me with rose-colored glasses. That's all some bullshit. To me, she's all I want and all I've ever wanted. Just the sight of her eyes enough to send me into a mouth-watering frenzy. I've wanted her the same if not more ever since high school. Just her. Only her. Guys I work with talk among themselves wondering how an idiot like me got with a baddie like my wife. So I know I'm not the only one who sees it, but yeah. To be particular, my wife and everything about her. She's perfection and all that I truly want. Just wish she could see what I see and feel what I feel when it comes to her. She really doesn't realize that she's Helen of Troy to me. Pretty much any physical imperfections, it show uniqueness. Imagine everyone looking the same hit would be boring. For me, it's specifically baggy eyes and the decoloration around the eyes that happens when a girl is tired, or that some girls just happen to hobby. It's enthralling to me, undescribable. I just came here to say I think this is the sweetest thread I've ever read on Reddit. Thank you all. In all honesty, if a man is really into you, he's going to think you're crazy for finding anything wrong with yourself. For me, it's body hair. You're human. We all have body hair. A woman comfortable in her own skin is the sexiest thing she could be. Definitely smaller breasts. Find them extremely cute, especially naturally proportioned to the chest, and it's nice to actually be able to grasp something properly in your hand. Really hate seeing comments all over women's face too about how much it depresses them and they want to get surgery and stuff. Don't blame them at all. Given how society is, but it sucks for me personally because they never ever believe you, just think you're lying, which makes them even more insecure. Edit. Sorry I can't reply, but really glad my little comment might have helped, seeing so much insecurity for something that can be so beautiful. Genuinely hurts the soul. As you can see from the thread, we at least have all sorts of preferences. Nothing is an inherent disadvantage. Nobody is perfect. If you ever have a guy who tells you the same thing, they aren't always just trying to make you feel better or sleep with you. Even if those preferences happen to not coincide with your circumstances, most don't care nearly as much as you. Think, it's not black and white. I mean, I don't have large breasts. Maybe I am wrong, but it seems like this pressure comes from social media, movies, and even other women. Can see how destructive that would be. Sorta like porn for men. I guess it gives us a warped sense of self. Comparison is the death of joy and all that. I was always very insecure about my hip dips until my boyfriend told me he loved them. I was standing in front of him one day and he just said, "I love the way your hips go in a little there. It makes your ut so cute. It's my favorite," and I was shocked, honestly. I used to spend hours watching videos about how to exercise them away, creams that would fill them in, and other ridiculous horseshit that would never work. He somehow found every insecurity I have and told me how attractive it is before he ever even knew I was insecure. Stretch marks. Like Kendrick said, show me something natural like SS with some stretch marks. IDK girls see them as, OMG I'm so fat and ugly, but I see it as, AMN that SS got so fat it literally tore her epidermis. What are some cooking hacks you swear by? If your food is bland even though you've added salt, then it's missing acidity. Lemon juice, lime juice, or vinegar are easy additions. Easy 1, clean while you cook. If a recipe says to sauté onions and garlic together at the same time, don't. Do the onions first, and then add the garlic when the onions are just about done. Garlic can be over-sautéed and it takes on a bitter flavor. Prep everything first. Have all of your veggies, cute, and ingredients ready. You will be more relaxed. Clean as you go. Wash your dishes while waiting for your food to finish cooking. Less dishes to deal with at the end of the night. Not mine, but my wife browns the butter before she adds it to chocolate chip cookie dough, and they're the best freaking cookies I've ever eaten. If your executive function is betraying you and you're ealy on microwavable or pre-made meals, find something small you can add to make them more substantial and to feel more like a meal. Add chopped broccoli to ramen noodles. Cumin and red pepper flakes are great to toss in, too. Cook minute rice with a chicken bouillon cube and some butter and pretend it's risotto. Personal favorite is to dump a can of corn into a microwave-safe bowl and mix in a bunch of taco seasoning. And if cleanup is a struggle too, use paper plates and bamboo flatware. Disposable chopsticks are super cheap and easy to find online. When you're struggling with depression, fatigue, or anything that makes taking care of yourself harder, taking shortcuts isn't laziness, it's how you survive to make those more daunting tasks a little less scary. Unrelated. If you're making a soup or stir-fry with lots of veggies, sauté the veggies a bit before adding other ingredients till the onions are translucent. I'm sure there's some food science reason that this makes soups taste better, but I have no idea what it is. I use soy sauce in a lot of stews and soups to help bring out savory flavors. My minestrone, for instance, usually has some soy sauce in it. Revive veggies that have lost their water by cutting their edges and soaking them in cold water. Lettuce, carrots, celery will be crisp again. Leaving a potholder on the handle of a cleaned cast iron pan to let anyone who might put it away know it may be hot as it cools down. I always take my cookies out of the oven a couple minutes or so before they're supposed to come out. They still cook a little bit when they're cooling on the pan, and as a result they come out nice and soft. People who wake up at 5 a.m. daily, why? Do you think I'm doing this on purpose? Work. My job is an hour away and I still need about an hour to cry in the shower. Age. As a teenager I could sleep all weekend. From about 30 I never needed an alarm clock as I would always wake up before I needed to. At around 40 I started waking up around 0630 and it gets earlier every year. I'm now almost 60 and am generally awake around 0430 and up and running by 0500 regardless of how late I go to bed. If this trend continues, I will be getting up before I've gone toad. There are times like weekends when I wish I could sleep in, but overall I enjoy being up early. Sunrise, coffee and peace are nice. Can't help it. I naturally wake up around then. I like it tbh. Everyone else is mostly asleep too, so a peaceful way to enjoy a coffee and wake you at your pace. Hit needs doing. What is your best comeback to, I ucked your mom last night, or anything along those lines? So you're a disappointment to both our mothers. Tired of yours? I'm no longer her biggest disappointment. Necrophilia isn't the flex you think it is. I ucked your dad to give him a son that wouldn't disappoint him. A female Twitch streamer said this, I believe, and I can't remember who it was, but if anyone has the clip or knows her name, please let me know. Edit. It was Sochir Gerlachs, and it was actually, give him a child he'll actually love, but still a good comeback. Here's the clip.